At Drew's Roofing and Home Repair, and I'll tell you that I don't do a lot of metal roofing. I'm down here on Oak Island, and inside this house is a pretty severe leak, and he asked us to come down here and see if we could figure out what was going on. Well, to start with, if you're going to hire somebody down here to put an expensive metal roof on, number one, you want to make sure that they're doing everything the way it should be done. And I know I don't do a lot of metal roofs, but I also know that there's ways that these things should be done. And number one, they don't have any closures at the bottoms at all. So nothing closing off the bottom. They've also just used a standard regular drip edge, which we know water can blow into there. And the other thing that I also noticed is that their metal doesn't actually come down and touch the roof. So I can move, I don't know if you can see that, but I can move that metal up and down on that screw itself, so the head's not even tight. Hope you can see that online. The head's not tight. And it looks like you never want to go too tight with these things because you'll pinch, you don't want to ever pinch that little rubber gasket too much. But you have to have them at least tight enough so that the metal's not moving. So I read about where Billy is where the there's a light in the kitchen, and the light in the kitchen is full of water. We might have to go in the attic area, Billy, to find this. I don't know, but I think they just put this thing down over the top of shingles. I think they put this thing down over the top of shingles. To be honest with you, I'm not even sure. Yeah, see, they didn't use any lap. Look at that. There's no lap cement. So all they did was run the panels. I can tell by that there's no cement under that. And you're supposed to cement your laps, or water, high wind can blow in here and go right into the other seam. So metal roofs are great. We are in the 110-mile-an-hour wind zone here in southeast North Carolina. We're just down the road from Myrtle Beach. But I do know that your screws have to be tight, somewhat tight. And I also know that he's got water in his kitchen, and I'll show you where that is in a minute.
Oh yeah, these things ain't tightened down. Look at that. I'm turning.
Oh wow, let me see what you got, Billy. So the screws are loose. Oh yeah, you can turn the washer. See, oh, there's a missing one right there completely. They drilled a hole, but they did not put a screw in it. These are so loose. He said this thing is only 4 years old. But also, Billy, do they have any closures on the top? Will you check and see? Put your fingers up there. No closures at all. Oh my goodness. So if you don't do the roof right, then you don't really have a good roof. Oh yeah, there's no closures on here, and these are supposed to have closures. Oh my goodness. Okay, so if you don't do the metal roof right, then it's not going to be a good job anyways. I'm surprised he's not having trouble on the other side. He's got a few kinks in this metal for some reason. Like right here. I'm not sure what's going on. I can tell that there's a nail right there underneath. The nail is trying to poke up through. And these, oh yeah, look at these seams, people. I know these seams are supposed to be sealed. There's supposed to be either a mastic that runs down through every one, or some type of caulking or something, and these seams have nothing. So
a lot of these screws are up. I'm turning them by hand.
You can turn them by hand. That's not good.
Even in areas there, I'm still doing it. Like there, it's everywhere.
So we got a lot of loose screws. He doesn't know exactly who did this roof. He's only owned it for 2 years. The roof has supposedly been done 4 years, but he's got leaks inside. And of course, it's a brand new metal roof, 4 years old. It shouldn't be leaking. And probably if it was done properly, it wouldn't be leaking. You can actually see in a few places, if you look, Billy, like this one right here. They sure enough put that screw down tight. That thing is divoted. But yes, so if you have a metal roof on your house, just know that everything really has to be done perfect and properly on your roof. And if it's not, you will end up having troubles. Like, I can turn that. Can't turn that. I can turn that. I can turn these things. So they're loose. Screws are loose. No closures here. No closures at the bottoms. No mastic on the seams. If you got a roofer that comes up and does a job like that, you got the wrong roofer, people. I don't care what kind of job you're doing. If they don't do it up to code, then it's not going to be worth crap anyways. Another look here, 2 more spaces right there. No screws in the holes. They got the holes there, but no screws in them. You can tell this metal is loose.
Yeah.
You can tell the metal's loose. I didn't want to miss it. But yeah, they've went over the top of something on this particular roof. I don't think they did anything up to par. I think they just kind of threw this thing on here. What are you seeing, Billy? I'm hearing something over there.
First saw, I figured maybe there might be some trash putting up underneath.
Yeah, I seen the nail there. I already got that on the video. There's more than just one nail.
Yeah,
it's
they
like
put screws all the way up.
Yeah, look at that. There.
For some reason it wouldn't hold them down or something.
Yeah, I can see where the seam, they was having trouble with the seam. Well, it's not going to hold down, number one, because there's no mastic under it.
Yeah.
It's not sealed properly.
They would probably have some kind of problem.
Yeah, this one's all bent to crap.
More screws into it.
This here is all bent to crap. Yeah. Oh well, they probably got a cheap job. And when a cheap job, sometimes this is what you get. There's a lot of places where there's holes, but no screws. Holes and no screws. And I can tell you, there's not any mastic. And this whole line, you can see whatever they went under. There was nails down there or something. Yeah. Or screws that they tried to screw whatever was up, down. Metal roofs are great if they're done properly. I don't see where I think they just overlapped. All they really did here is overlap the metal, and I'm not sure how far, but there's no transition of any type here. So this metal right here, more than likely, will start rusting on the end. Look at this. See the water coming out in between that gap? Let's see if there's water in between that. Now you know, and I know, if there's water in there, in between them 2 pieces, that's going to be a problem down the road. I mean, let's see what we got. Oh yeah, there's plenty of water in there. Look at that. Okay. Yeah, and metal moves a lot. Okay, so it's going to move. So you can see actually on this piece, excuse me, that the metal has gone up and down. So metal is rubbing all the time. I can see where it came to there. You can see where it stretches and expands out to its biggest point. It's right there. Anytime you put metal on top of another piece of metal like this, yeah, look at that. All right, so I don't do a lot of metal roofing, so why don't you guys look at this. Tell me what's going on. To me, this whole metal roof should come off and be done properly. So this is my first metal roof video. I would love to hear from some of you professionals out there what should have been done here. So no closures. Look at that huge overlap they got right there. No transition. And everywhere there's water underneath the 2 seams, and I don't know how far it goes. The screws are loose. We have water in the light socket on the inside of the house. I'll show you that in just a second. So no lap cement. Tell me, I'm not a metal roofing guy, but tell me that this roof is good. And I don't know what I'll say about that. What's going on the inside? We had a windstorm the other night. The wind was blowing quite a bit. Well, you can see the light fixture is full of water right above. You can see the stains on this side, stains on this side. Lining it up with the top, it's right on a seam. Check this out. I'm pretty sure if you look at that, that tells me he has water coming down his electrical panel. More than likely because of the leaking, boy, that's old too. The leaking new roof, improperly installed. I think he's got more than what he thinks got going on up here. So there you are, man. New metal roof. You tell me what you think, people. Hope you watch this video, and somebody that does